Let's start this off by saying thanks for helping me hit a milestone. 250 subscribers is awesome. So here's my Russian tortoise eating some kale. Now he's distracted. Check in with you later, Wally. Alright, so now to get into the video, I'm going to be talking about the Dwarf Sagittaria. It's one of my favorite plants to grow in the aquarium. It's wonderful for fry, lots of places to hide, always ends up being a hive of activity. See, just full of fry, snails, all kinds of stuff. The fish in here are Dwarf variatus platies from a PetSmart. Salt and pepper Corydorus palliatus back there. Alpha male. Awesome. Alright, so this plant is found in the wild in brackish conditions along sea coasts in the northern hemisphere. So mainly U.S., but as far south as Colombia. It's a really versatile plant. So it's in fresh water here. It's actually in the same family as Echinodorus, which is the Amazon swords, which I actually have right over here. This is Echinodorus amazonicus. The family that contains both these plants is called Alismataceae. There's more Dwarf variatus. But I grow Dwarf Sagittaria pretty much wherever I can because it has proven to be just a wonderful hide for fry. It's a perennial, so it just keeps going. You will get leaves that, as they get older, might accumulate some blackbeard algae or die off. They're pretty easy to remove. But when you have this much dwarf sag, it can be a bit of a labor of love to keep it clean. I'm actually growing pretty much all of these in standard LEDs that you can get at your local pet store. So no real highlight, all low tech. The main thing about this plant is that it has a lot of mineral needs. It grows really well in dirt. So that's one thing that you don't want to forget, that this is a strong root feeder. It grows really well in dirt. I use dirt capped with gravel. I don't know if you can see very well here, but I swear that is dirt under there. I don't have the best light, but there you go. Took a lot of trial and error with this plant. I had it for a while where it did not do very well. And I'm gonna get into that with some pictures I have. So this is from back in 2015 when I first got Dwarf Sag. It was just in gravel at the bottom of a 29-gallon tank. I started growing it. It survived, but it never really took off. So I had it like this for a while. It never really did much, but it did survive. Fast forward about 4 months, I had 2 pieces. I had actually seen a YouTube video from a fellow by the name of, his YouTube channel is Dendrocyrus zebra, and he was growing a number of plants in pots. And after that, I decided I have to try this. So took my 2 best pieces of Dwarf Sag. You can see some of the old growth on there, covered in some type of algae. It really was not doing well prior to this point. So this was April of 2016. This is 2 weeks later, a lot more growth. Fast forward another 2 weeks, I decided to move it. You can see there's my Xiphophorus variatus, but this is a month after it was put into the pot with the dirt. So it does grow pretty quickly. This is a month later, so 2 months, and it has gone wild. I love it. But that is the kind of growth that you'll see when you use dirt. So I had to move that pot out. I stuck a few pieces down into some saucers that were filled with soil that I buried under the gravel. So these are still being kept in dirt at this point. And this would have been the end of June of 2016. This is where I moved the pot to. This is what it looked like in a 29-gallon by the end of July in 2016. So just absolutely huge. This is the end of July in the tank where it was just planted in the under gravel saucers. You can see I've had my alpha male for a little while now in this tank. Close to a year and a half, geez. But already spreading, getting some nice carpeting. There's just another quick check because I like this shot. But you can see that Dwarf Sag, it's not super dwarf. One thing about it, as the plants get older and they're closer together, it will get significantly taller. If it's moved or it's spaced out a little bit more, a lot of the new growth will be short. And this is the tank. This is what that looked like shortly before I cut it all down. But grows all the way to the top of a 29-gallon tank. So at that point, basically you could do the same thing as your jungle val. You just keep it in the back. But let's see, do I have any more? Okay, that's back to the beginning. But this is what happened when I carpeted with it, and I think it just looks amazing. This one is actually kind of taking on more of that jungle val type look where it'll grow just right across the surface. This is in my Xenotoca doadrioi tank. Just another one of my Gadiids that I keep here. You guys know I love them. I've heard stories about this plant producing flowers. I'd imagine that it would be something similar to what you see with the Amazon swords, where it would be a stalk with some small white flowers on it that'll throw up above the surface. This isn't something that I've directly observed though. Most of, or actually all of my propagation has been through runners, which I'm actually getting one right here, although due to its need to be planted in dirt, it's probably not going to grow on that rock. So So I could always take that out, stick it someplace else. This is one of my favorite plants to grow. This is in the Adenovius towerii tank. Another saucer, just having a few sprouts. I think this one's just starting to take. It was growing for a while with some floating plants in here, which goes to show that this plant is really durable and it will survive for a while, even if the conditions aren't quite right. But once it is, then you end up with something like this, full of green, lots of places for fish to hide, snails to eat, all that jazz. A few more places growing it out. I've given this plant to friends. It's wonderful. Highly recommended. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If there's anything that you guys want to ask or want me to address in future videos, feel free to comment below and I will do my best to get on it. And once again, thanks for helping me hit a milestone. 250 subscribers is insane. So thanks again. And I will check in again with you guys soon. Awesome.